Mm. We are live. Hello, beautiful people. Good evening. Or good morning if you listen to this later. I'm your host, Drake, B. Drake, with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast with a purpose. Of course, our mission statement comes from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and that is, he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. Because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So this podcast has been built on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency, so we get to know each other, so we can love one another. And we're back every Sunday for our happy hour, where we come together with our community and we have great conversations with great people that talk about what's going on within the week, our most recent episodes, things that come up in the future, and a quick check-in. We usually here on YouTube 15 to 30 minutes, but we have continued conversations afterwards. We love if y'all continue to engage with us, communicate with us, and like and share. But as always, thank y'all for being here. So tonight we have, of course, Jaya. We have Shane, which she gets it fired. We have my boy KG. Y'all know him from the makings of Kevin. We have Christian Joy from the makings of Christian. And of course, we have T Jolie. Oh, look at her, wave the fingers through the hair. We ain't even mad at it. And of course, we got my man that just hopped in with that that melanin is getting deeper in him. I ain't mad at it. Look out. But the Everything Culture nephew. But how y'all doing? Y'all good?
Dandy.
For sure.
Blessed and highly favored.
We go pray for everybody. We go pray especially for Christian because she ain't feeling too well. Lord Father, thank you, blessings another day, blessing opportunities to serve your will. Lord, we ask you to continue to see us in good health, wealth, feelings, as well as continue to walk beside us as we continue to have our obstacles and challenges throughout our day. Lord, continue to see us through these challenges for us to come on the other side as successful as you intend us to be. Lord, we give all glory to you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, it's just a sore throat. But once again, okay, still, you ain't feeling 100%, Christian. We're going to be praying for you, okay?
Yeah, I was sick too when I got off the plane.
Man, the next day, hello,
Court. Hey, we have Court here.
No, I was like, what is this headache? Where is he coming from? Why am I having it? I do not deserve. This hangover is something different. So we gotta ask.
What's up, Court?
Hey, Court. Hey, Court.
Hey, Court. Everybody spoke.
Court is like, she's gonna be on good behavior tonight.
Everybody spoke. It was like, oh, okay. Hey, Court.
And we go read that out loud because we're on YouTube right now. But have y'all listened to the most recent episode of Everything Culture or She Gets It Pod?
Yes,
Not yet.
Okay, y'all get to it.
It's another episode dropping tomorrow, so y'all gonna be behind.
I'm gonna be behind, but I'm gonna catch up next month when I go get my infusion. That's what I do. Everything Culture. Everything Culture. I let them build up, and then when I go get that infusion, I be listening to the podcast episodes.
So I listen to it on the way to work, and it's just one of those things. It look like a delay. I'm gonna stop talking. You talk, Trey.
No, I was gonna say you listen, cause like, do you listen to it on the way to work? You listen to while you're cooking, cleaning? Like, what's the way you get into it?
Mine is different because like once the kids are around, it'd be like it depends on what I'm trying to do, and so on the way to work, after I drop them off, I got like a 20-minute ride on the way to work. When I get to work, I can't listen to anything. So on the way back to go get them, I finish whatever I'm listening to. And then, because I also do books too, so what happens is if I'm in here and I got my headphones on and I'm into a book or I'm into anything, that's when they come in. That's when they want to be around me. That's when they want to do everything. So usually for like 30 minutes after I get ready for like after they sleep for like 30 minutes, I'm listening or I'm listening to a book. That's what I do every night now.
That's rock with that. Rock with that. Ooh, I know. I just finished. I was saying earlier. I just finished Will Smith's book. I started it on the plane ride from Seattle to Houston, and I just finished this week. Really good book. Really good book.
Mm.
Interesting story. Will Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would say so.
Respectfully, the Smith family. I don't give them a lot of attention.
Once again, I can see where you're coming from, but Will Smith is and he talks about in his book, he has accomplished a lot in his life, a whole lot in his life. So I got to give the man the due respect. Like, I grew up watching The Fresh Prince, I had what was his first album with Getting Jiggy With It? I had that, okay?
I was just watching it last night.
You feel me? So talking about his experiences being a successful Black man, extremely successful. Like, you don't understand how much he's accomplished. Like, when he break it down, like, you have done a lot. And he was like, ain't nobody around the globe has done what I've done. And it comes down to the point that you still can be hurt. You still can be insecure. You still can be, challenging yourself. Because it was like I was talking to my partners yesterday. Shout out to my kinfolk Ruby. Shout out to my Adrian, Gary, Brittany, the whole fam, man, my Houston fam. We came together last night.
I saw y'all trying to make that boy dance.
He was dancing upstairs a little bit. He'll walk by, but when we pull him out, like when the song came on, he get our shot. Come on down here, nephew. Let me see what them little dance moves you got, man.
I said, not Drake being the uncle.
Right.
Hey, I love it. I've been waiting for that moment all my life. And it comes to it. Grown up Black. Can we talk about it?
Growing up.
Can we talk about it? So if y'all don't know, Shan and myself, we're doing a collaboration series about talks they don't want to have.
Mm-hmm.
And these basically conversations about, God dang, these are conversations, a squirrel. These are conversations about coming up as a Black American, okay? Our experiences, things that people may not understand, respect, perspectives that we have, okay? And Shannon and I, she's first generation, but Jamaican Black American, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I am American descendant of slavery. My great grandparents, were here. All right. I know how to trace my lineage as far as many other people, but I know it's here on this American soil where that I know of. All right. But we're going through each episode, talking about a different experience. First episode, we talked about just the intro, who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Second episode is coming up Black.
Mm-hmm.
Third episode is being twice as good. And tomorrow is going to be a treat that y'all just got to tune in for, okay?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Get your tambourines.
Oh, come on, treat.
Okay. I need that video, Shan.
I know. I got to fix it.
Need that video. But man, when I tell you, it's one of those things where we talked about, man, when did you like for instance, Shan never had the talk.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever have the talk coming up?
The talk, not the birds and the bees, the talk of
so I'm talking about specifically for
police?
Black people.
No, like you're Black, you're going to be treated differently. Talk.
The whole thing.
Yes.
If you had it.
Yeah.
I did.
I had it a few different ways.
Let me ask this. When did you realize you were like Black, what Black was? When did you have that feeling that I'm different? For good or for bad? Serenity, go in the corner.
Mine, I was in 5th grade. And that's because we moved from Atlanta all the way to the Georgia-Tennessee mountains. So I went from people that look like me, talk like me, and act like me in general. So I just felt like, oh, this is just normal. Then I moved to where it was literally like a handful and a half of Black people there. And so my mom, when we moved up there, my mom was just like, you can't say this, you can't do that. If you do this, or if somebody come to you and you think you're in trouble, don't raise your voice, don't be aggressive and stuff like that, because they're gonna think you're trying to fight or you're trying to cause trouble, and in the end the police is gonna try to do something to you. It also became an issue with me and my sister in like middle school, and my mom was just like, as long as we in the house before it get dark, she cared, but we couldn't go but so far from the house. And it was one night, me and my sister walked to our friend's wrestling tournament and walked back to the house. By the time we got back to the house, it was starting to get dark. And we noticed, or at least I noticed, like the police they wouldn't turn on the lights, but it was just like I saw the same police car. It's like they was driving in a circle. And they started following us. Now I told my mom about that. She was like, because we're in the sundown town. She had to tell us exactly what a sundown town is, and I was just like, so that's why you don't let us go outside in our neighborhood to the basketball court, which is like a house, or what is like our house, another house, and then it's the basketball court. She was like, that's exactly why I don't let y'all go outside at night, because it's a sundown town.
But this is around the age of 5.
No, this one.
Not 5, 5th grade, so you was 10.
10, we stayed up there from 10 to I think 13, 14.
Okay, so it's around 10 to 13.
Yeah, that
but I want to see anybody.
Area,
I want to see if everybody else got one too. That's what I'm saying. I want to make sure everybody got a chance. Like, what was the age if you had that experience that taught that? Hey, you have your attendance have to be higher than others.
So I'm from Mississippi, and it's one of those things. Like when I came up, it used to be that conversation of the white man ain't gonna let you get no job if you ain't got no education. The man ain't gonna let you do anything unless you are better in some way, in some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just like a simple talk with just one person. This was like a repeat through school. Cause
when did you get your first one though?
But see, that's the thing. I didn't really experience my first one till I was in the military. I experienced the difference when I left. I went to Washington. I got someone that gave. So we had these volunteers who always came to my hometown to volunteer every summer. Well, one of the volunteers bought me a ticket to come to Washington, and I went to Spokane and hung out with them. Nobody had to talk with me or nothing like that. It was like, yo, this was legit, like cool. But I realized that I was Black in this room of white people because everybody kind of tiptoed around things when they were talking about it. You know what I'm saying? They were just like, they were talking to me because you've been to Washington. So you know how like everybody's real like inclusive and things of that nature.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm from Mississippi, and we talk shit to each other. You couldn't make jokes because you don't know, like people didn't know how to make a joke with you and shit like that. Yeah. So I realized the privilege of being Black in a room full of white people. And then when I joined the military, I started seeing the majority of the politics and things of that nature. To this day, still, like when we do the evaluations or whatever, we do them every year. Perfect example, right? I go to work. Hey, listen, I'm in IT in an aviation world where they don't even respect my job because they feel like we do less work than they do. So as the IT, I have the ability to see, you know what I'm saying, like all the stuff, like whatever. They legitimately gave a guy who has a DUI, was sent to an institution. They gave him a higher ranking than me. They also gave a guy who's been there less time than me a high ranking than me. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, this dude, I've been here over a year. This guy literally been here like 7 months. How did he do more work than I did? And when I had the conversation with one guy, he said, you got to talk to the next guy. So I'm like, all right. That guy wasn't here. So when he gets back, we'll have that conversation. But moving forward, it's just one of those things where I was just like, yo, it's not about me being black more so than me just not being part of what they are. So seeing it and already knowing,
what are they?
They're aviation.
See, and we can come see that's the thing. Are they more than just aviation? Are they aviation and not black?
So that's the thing, yeah.
Okay.
Up until like maybe a month or two ago, I was the only black. It was two of us. One guy, they put him on the mid shift. He did his best to stay under the radar and never be seen because he was in trouble. But all the black kids used to come to me because we had no black leadership. It was me, another black dude that got in trouble, and some dude that showed up. So for the most part, I was the only black chief there. And everybody else was aviation, and everybody else was white. I just realized, shit, I don't think we even got it. We had a Hispanic dude, and we got one Hispanic, I think, and one Filipino dude. But I was the only black guy.
Okay.
And again, it would be one of those things where I could be in a room, I see a guy say something, I wouldn't say anything. It wasn't like they had a joke about black people, nothing like that, but they would make a joke. And then I would be in the same room, make a similar joke, and they'd be like, come on, bro, you can't, you come on, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute. Like, so I think the military was it for me. Like, I think I went on a long tangent, but being in the military, I saw several locations where, and when I say several, like I'm 20 years deep. So like this is back from like 2003 till now. I've been several places where sitting in the room, it just hit me. And like I had the conversation with somebody, like you unconsciously do things, not understanding what you're doing. I'll get off the rant, but the prime example was 2 kids, one black guy, one white guy. When the black guy had a domestic violence issue, the whole room talked about how he was a piece of shit. He hit his wife. He's a piece of shit, and had all these conversations about it. When the white guy got in trouble for beating his wife, he was like, man, that's crazy. I would have never thought that of him. He's a good worker. I said, and then I told the guy, I said, hey, do you understand what you did today? Like, the black guy was fully qualified. The white guy wasn't even fully qualified. But it was a conversation piece, and I had the conversation with the guy, like, yo, you literally you were ready to throw the black guy out of the Navy. The white guy, oh man, that's out of his character. You know what I'm saying? So, and the white guy did it twice. They gave him a slap on the wrist. He went to Hawaii with his wife and beat her in Hawaii. I was like,
but you're saying things that that's where we're at. That goes on to being twice as good. And we got another episode talk about all of these dealing with microaggressions, okay? That you feel and gaslighting because you feel like you're crazy.
Yeah.
You feel like this is you feel like it's you at times. Oh, this man laid up. Oh shit. Like so weird.
But you know what I was thinking while he was talking? How they portray us when you do something and it's in the news. He's a great guy. He got straight A's. He's an honor roll. And then they take his best picture because he's white. And then they find the one time that black man got arrested for.
Or they're going to find anything scout. I think about that all the time. Like, even with me. If something happened to me, I'm wondering what picture they will find of me.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I think the same thing all the time. I swear, like if something happens to me, what picture are they going to use?
They're going to find a picture of me in a hoodie,
or they going to find a high school picture of me throwing up gang signs.
They're going to crop it out. They're going to find a picture of me in a hoodie. They're going to find a picture of me when I graduated from college and I'm popping champagne bottles. They're going to find the most criminal photos of me.
It's gonna be Drake sweating in the gym.
Mm-hmm. Like they would have me all like vicious this month, but that is the pattern of propaganda what they use against us. But I gotta make sure to read what Christian put. I realized I was black in the 5th grade when I won first prize in the oratorical contest. That's a big ass word. In a majority of Cuban school. The other students' parents came together and demanded a recount. My mother explained why. They had another contest and I got 3rd place that time. Wow. See. So, like,
I'm mad for you,
man. And the thing is, in 5th grade, so both 10. Before when I left, so and I should ask, like, I find it unique because I grew up around black people. Mm. Then my auntie, well, not my auntie, I'm tripping. My mama wanted me to make sure I have a better education. So she tried to send me to like a white elementary, predominantly white elementary. Unfortunately, we can go down that whole background if we don't have the time right now. I'm gonna make sure to hear from everyone. But I remember when I first started going to a predominantly white school, this is maybe 1st grade. No, it's second grade. And she was like, my grandfather was like, hey, don't bring none of your white friends over here. I was like, and then they were like, my grandmother, you can't do everything they do. You can't play the way they play. Like, and I'm like, what that's supposed to mean? I'm like really legit, like, but once again, I grew up in Tyler, Texas, a very segregated town. Google it if you want to, the history of it. And East Texas is a different space, and that's my grandparents. They know what happened. They have a longer history than I have. They have wisdom about this. And it wasn't to teach me to be a bigot or anything of that nature. It was to protect me, to protect their households. Because they legit, my mother used to tell me stories, and he like, I don't know if my uncle will hear this if he watched this later, but I know some stories about my family. My mother told me at a very early age about they trying to lynch my uncles and some of my family members, It just because of, just imagine growing up, being born in 1918, going through Jim Crow era and severe racism, and you just being looking at a white woman or somebody over your household, and how they will pull it if they find out how to get around town without social media, how they'll pull up on you. So me being my friendly ass as a child, they were like, hey, we can't do that. And it's to protect you and us. It's not to say not to be friends with them, but you can't have them over here. Okay. So that was my first time being taught as a child, but my first like racist experience was probably later on that year, something sort of Christian was dealing with. And at first I still was like, nah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That's just, then I never forget, I got called the N-word at school. And when the faculty was like, it's just a word. Like, whoa, y'all taking this motherfucker play? What?
Come again?
And that's when I had I was still in elementary. I may be in the 5th grade because I remember the 5th.
Burnt that down.
That's what happened. But that's what went down. It was like it got to that point that I had to rely on my parents a lot more, on my mother, my grandparents. Like, you call us and we go fight you. You do not, because they had me as a child in there dealing with that, And you see it still happen to this day. And I understand why, don't be talking to me don't talk to my child without me being present.
Yeah.
Because they make us become adults earlier on than we need to be.
You remember when they was trying to arrest that 4-year-old and lock that 4-year-old?
Yeah. That little girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Crazy.
They put her in handcuffs the whole 9. They're already systematically, yeah, bro. This was viral a few years ago, about 10 years ago.
Oh, you talking about? Okay, I thought this was more recent.
No,
like, I remember that.
It's probably happening. We just don't know about it. Remember, what we see on television, online, is just.
I know it happened to the little boy. I was in Florida. they did it to the little boy the same way. And it was to teach him a lesson.
And that's why I tell people they need to go on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there, and watch 13.
Yeah, 13.
When they punish Hispanic child, a black child, or a Puerto Rican child, they putting that on your record. So when you 18 and you do one minor thing, it's up for you.
Mm-hmm. So, and what we're talking about right here, once again, Will, it's, you know, the episodes Shannon and I are doing a series about talks they don't want to have. And we're talking about just being Black in America, and we're discussing the different facets and experiences from just growing up, working to being twice as good. That's the episode that's just dropping tomorrow. Is a treat that I hope y'all can listen to and leave comments and engagement and stitch and all that good stuff. But it's an emotional one, but it's talking about a institution that I believe we wouldn't be where we're at to this day without it, and where we're doing with it now. But
you know,
the focus of, you know, tonight is really just like, man, where like, what was it like growing up and the experiences? Cause like if my niece was in here, I never forget, I talk about this story when I brought my niece to Chuck E. Cheese. She came to visit me in my home in Tyler, Texas. Now she's from Funky Town, Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, a different culture. You can say Funky Town or you can say Murder Town. The same place that, what's his name from? Charleston White. We are both from the same birthplace. When I heard him talk, I like, them motherfuckers from Fort Worth. I know that. Yeah. Anywhere. Okay. Got several cousins that talk just like that. But I brought this little girl to Chuck E. Cheese. She was nothing but maybe 11. No, she was young. She was maybe 7, 8 years old. And she just hopped up. I was young, got her the piece and all that. I remember her popping up. Uncle Brandon, where all these white people come from? Like, where all these white? She out loud, like, whoa. I'm like, she was straight, but she's just sharing her genuine, like, what is going on here? What is this?
That's hilarious.
I had to call my sister, like, hey, man, where you be taking my daughter with my niece? Wait, like, diversify. She needs some more diversity. She was like, my sister didn't even think of it. She's like, yeah, we go to a Black church. She go to a Black school. She went to a Black daycare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything in her life been Black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, me, I went to, once again, white.
Oh, that was mine. I took that out.
Hold on, what'd you say, T? T?
Okay, you know what?
Sorry, I was talking to my daughter.
Oh, go ahead.
There, you got it, Shan.
Oh, my family that's primarily in Philly, the only time they have white interaction is when they work for someone. And so when they come here to visit, it's kind of like, where your Black neighbors at? Or they go in a grocery store and they're not used to like the mixed variety of people shopping at the same place or being in the same park. And that's why it's super important for you to not, I think it's great to be around people of your culture, but not in a way where your children go through their whole adolescent age of not seeing diversity in culture. They don't travel, they don't explore sports with other cultures, because then you kind of like close them off to knowing the different opportunities that are out there because the culture is different.
I would agree to that wholeheartedly. And that's why we got everything culture. Because if they can't have the resources or the ability to go out themselves, maybe they can listen to a podcast that can help them understand things are different, or watch a little things. You know, PBS is one of my favorite things, though. So, but hold on, Christian, and we go after we read this, we'll hop off YouTube. Love y'all YouTube. But the first time I remember associating positivity with being Black was also in the 5th grade when my non-Black teacher had all the Black chorus students teach everyone how to clap on beat. I remember being proud, didn't even realize she was stereotyping us.
Wow.
Hey, my question is, did y'all?
Was that fried cheese? Was that fried cheese?
Well, of course we taught them.
Okay. And the thing is, if y'all did, hey, maybe she couldn't.
No, she couldn't. But it was a positive stereotype. There are negative and positive stereotypes.
And that's gonna be part of the conversation on with being Shane in the series. Talk about those. Are those helpful for us? Even if it's a positive stereotype, a stereotype still can have negative connotations because, for instance, I can't play basketball.
But what's the stereotype that my family gets all the time is the fact that we always got more than one job. This is a fact.
Hold on, Christian. If your Black children on TV, watch movies, have the internet, they see enough whites. Once again, let me tell you something.
Could you not call my name on YouTube, please? Thank you.
Let me just call CJ. Okay. Maybe they need other Blacks. Let me tell you something. My family watched nothing but Black films. Wow. So it doesn't really apply at times. If you want to segregate yourself, you can. That's what I tell people all the time when they say we need segregation back. You can still do it. I see it happen very clearly. It's just illegal, to do so. That's the biggest thing. And it's really to give us more options. Oh, we talked about segregation before. Are we talking about it on the series, Shane?
Segregation?
Segregation and desegregation. When we first started doing the pod fam, these Zoom lives and all that, I was hated because, I always say I didn't want to live in an all-Black neighborhood anymore. I want to live in a diverse neighborhood. I was like, people can feel the way they feel. And because if I don't live in an all-Black neighborhood, I'm hurtful to the community.
I've lived in an all-Black neighborhood, and
I have too.
Now I have great appreciation for a diverse neighborhood.
I am not knocking it either, but I want diversity. I know once again, that's my ideology. That's my God that want me to do that. And respect everybody else.
Yeah.
But man, when I tell you, I see positive in all people and I see negative in all people too. It's duality. It is. But we go chop it up, and once again, we go say bye to YouTube and we go get into our conversation. All right, YouTube, we love y'all, appreciate y'all. Make sure to like, share, and comment. Make sure to watch the most recent episode and every episode of Everything Culture. Go and follow Shan B. Podden.
Yes.
That's ChanBePoddin. Yes. Let's see. Any of my other people here got anything to shout out before we hop off? Will.
I'd like to shout out my YouTube page, Colorful Productions LLC, and W Wonders 3 on Instagram. Come check it out. I got some more cinema content coming out, so got some things happening and progression. So see you then.
How about make sure to vote for the person that's not saying their name. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yo, you know what's interesting?
What?
Like being from the North, where every time we went down south, we were prepared. Like before we went down, even though we would live progressively in the North, 80s, 90s, when we went down south, I've watched the short documentary back in the day on Emmett Till.
I was just about to say that.
And until this day, I can't watch a documentary on him. Because it affected me so. And so now, like even when I moved to Virginia, you know what I'm saying, I realized that some of that stuff was still in me, where it was like, I don't talk to no white woman. You know what I'm saying? And granted, it's like, and I have white friends and things like that, but when it comes to South or something like that, it was ingrained in me. Don't even do it. You know what I mean? And even someone was, oh nah, man, you can. I was like, nah, because that's how you get caught up.
And Living here in Georgia, when I go take the girls on the outskirts where they got a road that you don't know if it's a road or a road or a road or a road, I make sure I'm in and out of those places